Good evening. Good to see you. We're not at the poetry shelf this evening, but I do have poetry for you. Um, I'm still catching up, honestly, on some sleep and rest. This past weekend, I was helping my father put in a cattle fence on his property, and it may be an indication that I haven't had a very hard life, but that was the hardest work I think physically that I've ever done. And so a couple days of that this weekend, and then I didn't really have a regular weekend. Even Sunday we were still traveling back. So I didn't have the rest that I typically get on the weekend. So I'm still catching up. So I'm sitting here in this chair, which is actually the highlight for this evening, because this is a new chair. It of course has been here since I think just our last visit, but I got this on Father's Day, so a couple weeks ago, and my wife and I have been looking for. We did something of a redesign in our living room that we're sitting in right now, and we got a new couch. We had a sectional before, and we wanted something with a little more character, and that would look a little bit nicer. And so we found something there. And one of the things I was looking for was a chair somewhere that I can sit, when I get home or when I'm reading in the morning, anything like that. And I was looking for something very particular. As much as I would like a nice leather wingback chair, I'm afraid it wouldn't go very nicely with a lot of the furniture we have in here. Somehow the way we've decorated has kind of turned into a cottagey design, and I think a nice wingback chair would maybe look out of place. I think it would look too formal, perhaps. Maybe not. But anyway, so I was looking for a chair like this, something like an oversized reading chair that was comfortable and also looked simple and nice. So we found this, and it was really a steal. I think we paid $30 for it, and I'm quite happy with it. It's used. It's a little banged up. I'm going to have to do some sanding and refinishing on the legs on it, because those look like someone's animal got a hold of them. But other than that, I have really enjoyed this chair so far. It was almost exactly what I was looking for. So all of that to say, our poetry this evening is, and in all fairness, even though we're not at the poetry shelf, I did pull this off of the poetry shelf. This is my my journal, my commonplace book. Really, anytime I take notes, or I also do some monthly tracking, just notes what I want to accomplish during the month, some habits I want to track, and then I'll have entries throughout the week. Not every day, just whenever the inspiration strikes. Sometimes it's about me. Sometimes it's more of a commonplace book where I'm just writing excerpts from something I'm reading that I wanted to remember, or thoughts on something I'm reading. So it's something of a catch-all. Anyway, when I got this chair, I sat down and first had a nap on, what was it? Father's Day, I suppose. Late afternoon on Father's Day, I took a nap in the chair, and I woke up and the house was still quiet. Everyone else was napping. And so I picked up my pen and I just started writing this poem. It's in the ballad form, or at least I tried. And then I tried at the end to do something like a bob and wheel, and it didn't quite work out. I wanted to say too much for a bob and wheel, quite frankly. But you'll see a little bit of it, and then I kind of modified it at the end of this, 5 lines, 6 lines? So anyway, I thought I would share this with you. This poem is called On Obtaining a New Chair. Sorry, I have something in my eye. Good grief. Okay. So again, this is On Obtaining a New Chair. I'm quite excited this fine day. It's such a simple thing. A chair acquired and newly used, even though it be scratched and bruised and with old stains and smells suffused, now in my corner clean. All this, I pause and wonder why. Why is this so important, that I should write about or sing about this throne, though not a king, that costs far less than most my things? Why should I be so jubilant? On this I thought, and pondered late, and after one whole day, the answer I sought was supplied. For in that time I've occupied this chair, the boys both side by side, and read them books and prayed. I've talked with my dear heart and held her hand, and on my lap, in this my leather seat I've slept, and pondered on my chores unkept, and after work is done I've crept from here for a nightcap. Oh dear Lord, please help my eyes to see every little boy and inconvenient toy around this blessed chair as blessings that you've given me. I'd like to say I wrote that all in one sitting in the final form that I've arrived at. That isn't the case. I started actually, where is this? Maybe I did start here. Yeah, I started with a note here. And then I moved to, this is kind of a first draft that you'll see here. And I wrote here, written Father's Day 2025. And then I got more technical on the ballad form. And so you'll see here, I've written the syllable count that I wanted, as well as the rhyme scheme that I wanted as well. And then I was kind of fiddling about with this bob and wheel at the bottom that has become a grotesque version of the bob and wheel. And so this was, for the most part, kind of the final form, and then I made just some final edits here, and this is the final edition. So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm constantly surrounded by the little things in life because, I mean, just our budget doesn't allow for big things, I suppose. And so constantly remembering with little persons running around and making a mess of everything, to remember that someday those little persons won't be little and they won't be running around making a mess of anything, and I'll miss it. And right now I get a good view of all of it because I'm in the corner, so I see everything in the living room, into the dining room, and down the hall from here, and I get to watch all of it take place. So it's a little devotional, but I hope you enjoyed that, and our brief stint away from the poetry shelf. Until next time, have a good evening. Goodbye.